amenifanyia amani.
Yes, Lord.
Kaondoa huzuni yangu, kanifanyia amani.
One more time, amenifanyia.
Amenifanyia amani.
Amenifanyia.
Amenifanyia amani. Kaondoa huzuni yangu, kanifanyia amani.
Today I have this chain. This represents bondage. This represents lack of independence. So when you say that you are under chains, it means that you are under slavery. But today I'd like us to talk about a particular slavery that we may find ourselves in, a particular bondage that we may find ourselves in, and that is bitterness and anger. Bitterness and anger. You know, when you're angry or when you're bitter, you become so much into that bondage of those emotions that you start reacting in accordance to the way the emotions direct you. And probably the way you respond is not exactly how you would want to respond. But because you are under chains of slavery, under chains of bitterness, you find yourself acting in a very weird way. And you lack peace in your heart. This bondage of bitterness and anger makes you lack peace in your heart. So what are you supposed to do? So I'd like us to start the first section about forgiveness today. What is forgiveness? To forgive is to let it go. To forgive is to pardon. To forgive is to let the person go. That person that has offended you, you just let him go. And there are two things today I'd like us to talk about forgiveness. One, forgiveness brings freedom. Forgiveness brings freedom. In Hebrews chapter 12 verse 14 to verse 15, it says, make every effort to live in peace with all men and to be holy. Without holiness no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one misses the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. Now if you look at verse 15, the last part that says no bitter root grows up, make sure that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble, meaning that bitter roots, they may grow up and they may cause trouble and defile many. When you act out of bitterness, so many people may hurt, even those people that actually did not offend you. And we have seen this, and especially when it comes to family violence. We've had people killing each other, and other people, maybe the neighbors or even the children, they become victims of a violence between a husband and a wife who decided, one of them decided to act. And when you decided to act out of being a bondage of bitterness, then others are affected the same. But one way of living, of having peace in your mind, one way of having peace in your heart, one way of living in peace with everyone else is to let it go. Whenever you are offended, you let it go. It is not easy, I understand. But when you let it go, when you actually forgive, you become free. You become free of all that bitterness. You become free of all that bondage. You become free from the chains. And now you can act in peace. And now you can live dependent on yourself, on your own sober decisions. Forgiveness frees us from the bondage of anger and bitterness. But second thing, forgiveness starts with you. You must decide to forgive. It is not really about other people. It's not about whether the other people will apologize or not. Some, they may come apologizing and they are genuine, but others, they may apologize, but they are not genuine actually. They just said, I'm sorry, just for the sake of it, or because they would need something else from you. So some may not even be genuine. But you see, if you continue not to forgive, then it is you that is suffering. It is not them. So whether they apologize or not, it is not really about them. It is about you. That is why you must decide. It must be a personal decision In Ephesians chapter 4 from verse 26 and 27 says, and allow me to read those verses. Ephesians chapter 4 from verse 26 and 27. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you're still angry. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that the only time you can get angry is only during the day. During the night, you don't become angry. But actually, the time frame given here means that try as much as possible, the soonest possible, to let it go. Do not live in anger and bitterness. When you do that, you give a room to the devil, the Satan, the evil one, who will take advantage of that and will make you make decisions that are actually not sober, decisions that you will regret later. And we have seen that happening. Decisions that will affect the whole society. Decisions that are not good decisions. So you must decide to forgive. It has to start from you. This time frame that you're given, the other person may not have come to tell you sorry, but you must start forgiving even without being told sorry, even without the other person apologizing. Forgiveness, true forgiveness, must start with you. And when that happens, you will have peace. When that happens, you will be free. When that happens, you will have peace. So forgiveness must start with you. And it is solely your own personal decision. I don't know what has happened in your life. I don't know how many people that have actually offended you. I don't know how much you're feeling. Probably you're so much angry. Well, be angry, but make sure you decide to forgive. When you forgive, you will be free from bitterness. When you forgive, you will be free from anger. When you forgive, you will have peace. Let us pray together. Lord Jesus, give us the strength to forgive. When we forgive, we will be free. Help us to decide, because this is our personal decisions. And sometimes it's very hard. Sometimes somebody offends us too deep that it is very hard to forgive. But with you, you can help us to forgive. So Lord, thank you, because I know you're going to help us to forgive. In Jesus' name.